This is one of those sessions where I can't really be arsed with it. Forearms hurt, I'm not in the mood, I couldn't get the microphone working on the camera, then I had to change the memory card, all of which is external mental clutter that's taken away from my focus to do as much as I can. Which is going to happen from time to time. You're going to come into the gym some days, you're just going to be like, there's a million and one things I'd rather do then do pull-ups, then do squats, then do bench press.
I just want to touch a little bit on that workout. As I said in the video, that was a workout that I just couldn't be arsed doing. It was a bit of a rush to get to the gym in the first place because Shane, who you've seen on the channel already, was ready and waiting for me in the gym. Myself and Abby hadn't even left the house. So initially I was stressed because I was already running late. The second thing that happened is that I forgot my headphones in the car.
It doesn't help that I left my headphones in the car.
The music in Monster Pro is very, very good. I mean, I was in there for 10 hours straight filming an exercise library for the Fitzness app, and not a single repeat song came on, and every single one of them were bangers. But I digress. I still am someone who likes to have my noise cancelling headphones that have my tunes playing in my ears to really get me in the zone for a specific session. So lo and behold, I left my earbuds in the car, and a normal person would just simply walk back out to the car and get the earbuds. But for some reason, my brain just wasn't cooperating with me, and the last thing that I wanted to do was walk the, God forbid, 25 meters out past reception to the car with my tail between my legs, walk back in to my session and then do my session. And I also had the intention of going in and ripping the shit out of pendlay rows. I had in my head I wanted to beat my previous pendlay row PB of 180 kilos times 3. But when I started loading the plates onto the bar in the back room in Monster Pro, everything just felt heavy. It felt sluggish. I loaded 100 kilos onto the bar. I tried to do a couple of repetitions. Not only did 100 kilos feel like 200 kilos, but my forearms, the tendons in my biceps, they were just all aching, and just, it was, in spite of using straps, it just wasn't an ideal recipe for me to do pendlay rows. So I unloaded the 100 kilos that I'd loaded onto the bar, and I decided to just do machines and exercises that I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time, as I said, getting set up for. And this is a point that I want to make. There's many different things that you can do when you're just not in that zone as you usually are. On another day, I would have gone in and loaded on 200 kilos onto the fucking bar, and I would have ripped the shit out of it. But it just wasn't one of those occasions for me on that Sunday morning. So the adjustment that I made was twofold. Number one, I focused on exercises that just wouldn't have a lot of loading, unloading time. Let's use back squats as an example. If you're someone who's squatting 140, 150, there's a lot of like warm-up sets you need to do. There's a lot of moving around the gym to get the plates that you want to get, to load the plates on, to take some plates off. And it's just a lot of mental drain and fatigue that could be better spent, within the confines of the set that you were doing. This was a situation that I wanted to avoid. The more energy that I leak outside of the confines of the set that I'm doing, just the less effective that my workout is going to be, and the more I'm going to get in my own head about how I don't want to be doing that session, the more it's going to drag on, and overall the less effective it's going to be. To improve the intensity of that session, what I did was focus on machine-based exercises primarily that don't take half the amount of time to, number one, warm up, but number two, load and unload the equipment. So things like pull-ups, for example, all I literally need to do is stick my hands up, grab the bar, and do some pull-ups to failure. A lat pullover machine is pin-based, therefore to warm up, it's simply just placing a pin on a low amount of weight on the stack, and then when I'm ready to do my working set, I just take the pin out and I put it on a heavier amount of the stack. This allows me to save as much intensity, energy, focus, and concentration for the set that I'm doing, as opposed to wasting it externally. And not only that, it can help me get through the exercise a little bit quicker, so that I'm spending less time moping around the gym, and that I can envisage the end of this session a lot easier than I could do if I'm doing exercise, for example, a pendlay row, which could take the bones of fucking 20 minutes to effectively complete. Other things I like to do is reduce my rest periods. And yes, it may compromise the amount of weight, the amount of repetitions you're able to do within a given set, but there is benefits from a muscle building perspective to having slightly shorter rest periods, mainly because of the muscle cell swelling that will occur when you take shorter rest periods. Now, that is not a reason to always do very short rest periods, but it's one tactic that I will implement when I'm just not in the zone for a session, because I want to spend less time in the gym, I want to spend less time in between sets thinking about how little I want to be in the gym, and I just want to keep that intensity as high as possible. Other things that you could try as well would be supersetting exercises. So taking 2 exercises and performing them back to back. Therefore, you're essentially killing 2 birds with the 1 stone. You're getting 2 exercises done in the time frame that it would usually take you to complete just 1 exercise. The biggest thing is accepting that some sessions are going to be shit. It's the yin and yang. If you don't have shit sessions, you cannot appreciate the good ones. So sometimes it's just about getting in, getting the reps done, getting the boxes ticked, and riding out the proverbial storm. Gonna wrap up the video here. I really appreciate you, as always, tuning in to every single video that I post. I would even more so appreciate it, not to ask too much. You already do enough for me simply by tuning in. But if you're to like the video by pressing the like button below, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're to turn on your post notifications, I would really appreciate it. And more so than that, tune in to the next one. Take care.